Hey everybody, welcome back. You know, life's funny sometimes. You go back to doing construction, whatever, things that you've done a long time ago, and you try to get back in the groove of things, and sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it takes your body a time to adjust, and from what you were doing. But it's kind of like God, it's kind of like Jesus also, in our prayer time. Sometimes, when we first started out as a Christian, we're like all over it, in that prayer, in that connection with Him. The season, it's kind of like a meat, the more you let it sit in that season and marinate, you get all the seasons into that meat. Well, how do we expect God's protection over us if we're not in that Word, if we're not in that relationship with Him, if we're not sitting and waiting on Him to talk back to us? Because we want to hurry. We look at our clocks, Sometimes it happens even with me, I get up a little bit later, or I was doing something else, and then you go to prayer, and then you tend to want to rush through that. I try to get the majority of whatever's on my mind done before I come to prayer. That way the enemy doesn't have that moment to push in there. So, you look at life and you go, where are we at? Where's your prayer time? Where's your devotion time? Where's your reading time? These things are very important. It's like going on vacation and you're going to another country. You're going to make sure you got your passport. You're going to make sure you have everything that you possibly can have that you need. Traveler's checks, credit cards, whatever. Your plane tickets. These days, everything's online. Go there, print it out, go wait. You get the VIP, so does everybody else. VIP becomes longer than the actual line, and you think there's something wrong with that line, and you're waiting there, and they're like, yeah, naturally they're still going to get on board before you, but you already have that seat. So VIP, to get to a seat you already have to get on before somebody else, but if you're waiting in line just as long as you would the other one, it's kind of a waste of money. It's kind of a waste of time to pray to God and Jesus if you don't listen to them to speak, to give you direction. Devote everything. Delightful of your heart, He shall be delighted with you. Give it, He will give it back to you if you're giving to Him. It's like the ATM syndrome. You can't go to the ATM if you haven't been to work. And your last check was deposited, being you're thinking, well, I go back to work next week. You got a vacation time, okay? Well, then your week is never going to end. Even when you go back to work, that vacation pay will take over the effect of, so you're not missing any work. I think sometimes we take vacations from Jesus. I really do. I think sometimes we step back and think, I'm good. But then when the sad and the difficult times come, we tend to lean on that crutch a lot, don't we? And you look at the word lean. What does the Bible say? Lean not on your own understanding, but lean on mine. Give it to me. And there's so much that goes on, There's attacks all over. The enemy's not resting. If you think the enemy's kicked back on a beach chair somewhere with his feet kicked up, thinking, I'm just going to wait till my time, well, you got another thing coming, people. He's not sitting back wasting his time. He's at full motion because he's amping up, spinning the tires, heating them up so he can get that traction when it's his time to come full force. And he's not going to rest. He's going to rip into this world. So you got to understand the world's ways, what we see out there right now. We see the destruction. We see the wars. We hear the rumors. We see the weather balloons. So they say. we take them down. It doesn't matter if we took it down. You took it down 20 days, whatever it was after. They already got the information they need. They didn't even need to do that. Because our government is a sellout government. Our government's going to sell us out. You better believe it. It's corrupted. Look at the nonsense that goes on. If you think that that's for us, no, again, sadly mistaken. Stimulus. You're printing paper without gold to back it up. So that money is useless. These countries know it. And they're happy. I'm giving you all this to keep in thought. Prayer. We should be praying about these things. The Bible also promises that He will clothe us, He will feed us, He will protect us. But it's the same concept too. You have to be in that relationship. We watched a video last night before we went to sleep, and the lady's talking about what the Lord gives her. And she showed a man sitting there reading the Bible with angels not facing him, but their backs to him, all the way around in a circle while he's sitting on, I think it was a chair or a couch, it doesn't really matter, but I found that very interesting because you think about the protection that God gives us. If we're truly devoted to Him, He's going to truly devote, He's going to give back what you give. Same thing with your bank. It'll give you what you have given. But God gives us a little bit more. Doesn't have to. We don't deserve it. But out of the grace of Jesus' blood, we get it. Now that's pretty awesome, if you ask me. So I try every day. I try every day to pray. I try every day to do the right things. I try every day to, not get frustrated. I kind of lost my cool a little bit yesterday. And, I had to go and ask Jesus for repentance. Because a person kept nitpicking names and stuff like that. And, and I know, you can go ahead and say it. Well, Nelson, sometimes you got to let stuff roll off you. Yeah, but then sometimes when you're already frustrated with how the day's going and two other people's arguing and then everybody else starts arguing and then somebody's coming at you and, you go on that defense, there's no excuses, people. I shouldn't have done it. I really shouldn't. I got to represent Jesus. I know what you say, we're not supposed to be doormats. I understand all that. I truly do. I still should have never reacted the way I did. And, but, I don't even know where I'm at. Warner's Junkyard. So anyways, it's sometimes we have to look at ourselves. And the Lord, like I gave on that one document that I read from the tablet, I think about it a lot. And I think about what He said, when He was with them. How much longer do I have to remain with you? And I think that's what's going on right now. How much longer do I got to sit here and recorrect you guys before I come? Because when I come, you're stuck here if we're not ready. I want to be ready. I don't ever want to have a day that I question, am I ready? Yesterday was one of those days. I allowed the buttons to be pushed, and I shouldn't have. I know in my mind, I know what I know how to do. And I don't need to prove that to anybody in this world. My ways may not be the same as theirs. But I guarantee it, some of the stuff they do, I would never do on somebody's project. Because it doesn't make any sense. But I let them do what they're doing. They want that role, they want to be in charge. Well, then it falls on you. The same as me coming on here and saying stuff that the Lord's given me or trying to give the best advice, bringing my life into it. If I mislead you, first of all, I'd have to have some kind of gain for it. What am I trying to get? Because somebody's going to mislead somebody or misdo something. You have to have a purpose. Like God has a purpose, plan, and reason. He told me that himself. The Father himself said, I got a purpose, plan, and reason. I had a purpose, plan, and reason when I started molding you in your mother's womb. I had a plan for you through the process. And I have a reason why I created you and took you from heaven to earth. Same as he did Jesus. He figured he delivered Jesus in his hands into Mary. However, many speculations, and please don't comment your opinions on that. I'll take anything, but I'm just asking, please. I believe I could give you more than what you probably ever could think of or heard. And some of them are just, and again, I don't care. It's God. You know, only thing I care is that the mercy that he showed me, and he sent his son. I care that his discipline. I care that his correction in my life. I want to be disciplined by him. I want to be correction. And he can have the free will that he gave me, because I can't do nothing with it. I do wrong. Every time I think that I can grab that free will rein and control them horses, good night, man. They go in every direction, the wrong directions. They try to separate. They almost throw me off the wagon. And what do I get? Frustrated, nowhere, and then still at the same spot where I left off at. Even though I might have gone days and thinking, yeah, this is great. And then I look back and go, now I got to go back to where I lost control. And I lost control because I took my free will. And I think I know best, because I didn't seek guidance. I didn't seek the Lord and wait on the Lord. Sometimes I understand, something happens, we got to pray and pray and pray, but then sometimes we got to make decisions. And we got to hope that we make the right decisions, and we know the Lord will take that into consideration. And I truly believe this. And he will get glory in the end of all things. No matter what it is, he shall get glory. So, it's a good song right here. All you gotta do, lay your troubles, lay your burden, worries, and lay it down to him.
Keep right onto Madison Avenue toward Belmont Avenue.
Don't you love driving in the spring and stuff? They got more roadblocks. You think they would put detour signs or something up? I think I'd be asking too much. Instead, you gotta drive around and look for a way. But anyways, so let's think about life. Are you where you should be in life? Do you feel like you're accomplishing everything? Do you feel like my life's going great? Are you in that devotion time? Are you devoting everything? Are you, or is things just going okay? Nothing bad happened today. I'm okay with life. I'm okay with everything that's going on. Are you feeling like God is calling you to do something, and you feel like, man, I don't know, I just feel like I'm in the wrong place. That's how I was starting to feel with trucking. And, to go back into this business that we're starting back up, at first I was like, oh my gosh, I let the devil in my head. There's too many companies, too much competition. And Darlene said one day, she goes, yeah, but we got God on our side. Not really exactly how she said it, but I just sat there and I went, yeah, she's right. You know, you can't beat. There's no trump card in the world that's going to be able to over-trump God. The devil can't do it. He's tried to do it for centuries, from the beginning of time, and he still couldn't do it. So, if he can't do it,
3/4 of a mile,
nobody
keep
can.
left onto I-680 toward Pittsburgh.
But we have to look at, we need to go into that secret place and just allow God to be God. And listen. Meditate on that word. You know, think about the things in your life, okay? When the devil starts attaching, you got to think about what is in your life. What we listen to, what we see, the things we do, the actions that we do. But now you go to the demonic part of it and think about it. You know, pornography. Big time right now, people, that pornography is destroying people. It truly is. You know, it is wicked pornography. And it's not just men like people think, oh, it's a man thing. No. It's not just a man thing. Men, you shouldn't be doing it either. You shouldn't even be doing it if you're not married or have a girlfriend. You shouldn't do it at all either. You shouldn't do it. Women, same thing. You know, sometimes we get displaced in marriage. And we look at our lives and go, I'm not happy anymore. You're not happy anymore because you're not putting anything into your marriage. Your gas tanks are on E. The check engine light's on, but you don't want to pull over. You don't want to look at what's going on. And it's always somebody else's fault. The grass is greener on the other side. But you look at it, and then you do something stupid, and then you end up in that lifestyle, and then you start regretting because you missed the person that you had in your life. You finally realize all the things that they've probably done in your life. And you go, man. But then sometimes it's too late. There's no getting something back. That's your consequence. That's the discipline part of it. You know, but you look at spiritual warfare. You got demonic movies. You got Walking Dead. I mean, Harry Potter. I mean, I can go down the list of nonsense that's out there. There is so many streaming movies that has to do with. Look at the Nun movie that came out, The Conjuring. I mean, good grief. There is so much. It's unbelievable. It truly is. It is so unbelievable that these things take place. Because it's out there everywhere. Some people can see it, some people can't. You look at gambling, you look at being dishonest, witchcraft, and I'm just pulling off the ones that I can think of without going on an hour rampage of how many things that's attached to you. But so you look at life. When you're in an upside down things or things start not always. I'm not always saying that this is why, but look around you. Look at your household. Is it in order? Is the things going on in your household in order? So you look at it and go, that could be. Satan doesn't just need you. It could be things around it. That's why it's very important for that father to be a father. But it's very important for him to be a follower under God. Devoted to God. Devoted to his wife.
miles.
devoted to leading his children upright and teaching them upright,
224 east.
and to continue to do that order, to set examples. So when they grow up, they look at it and they have that example of a godly father and a godly mother and what a marriage is supposed to be. Not arguing, not carrying on. You know, a lot of it is money. People argue over money all the time, which does a lot of divisions, a lot of separations. And why? Because you didn't think about tomorrow. You thought about that pay raise. Ooh, I can go out and afford a new truck, or I can get a new boat, or I can get my nails done every other month, or whatever the situation. You're adding stuff instead of being wise and taking that money and putting it to the side. Because someday it's going to rain. See, God gives us to be smart. He doesn't want us to not be happy in life. God wants us to be happy, because when we're happy and joyful, look, we serve Him. We're joyful about it. We give Him glory. We are the most complaining nation ever. Then you go over the places that don't have water, don't have food, digging through bags of garbage. You realize we pump a lot of our garbage over into other countries? I didn't know that. I actually seen a video on it. And these people go through our garbage and look for food. Most of them are kids. And they take stuff home. Seen a video where these kids were going through there and found some toys and were so happy. So happy. And I got thinking about when I was little and I would hook my wagon up and run around and dig through trash, find toys and stuff and whatever. You don't know what you are until somebody tells you. But you got to be careful who's telling you what you are, because you're somebody. God gave you a birthday for a reason, because you're somebody. It's an important day for you. We love celebrating National Hot Dog Day, National Flag Day, National Ice Cream Day, it's National this, it's Thanksgiving, it's 4th of July, it's Memorial Day, it's Labor Day, it's St. Patrick's Day, it's your day, their day. There's too many days. We celebrate all this stuff. We have prayer day. Every day should be prayer day. That's nonsense. But we got to look at it and go, I guess something's better than nothing, right? Either way, just my daily thought, people, my daily little nugget to you. You know, sometimes we got to step back and look. I know I've been questioning the spot that I'm in, but then I see all the doors and everything. If it wasn't for me getting out of the truck and doing what I'm doing right now and listening and praying, what do you have next? When the business came back into thought, you know, I thought, no way. Now I'm hungry for it. Now I want it. Now, that's all I think about. That's all I'm praying about. That's all I'm lifting up. Show me the ways. How do you want me to do it? It's your company, not mine. I'm just going to be a good steward. But I need the finances to come in, because you know what I need. So help me. And He does.
Speed limit reduced ahead.
He tells me what to do, who to call,
Take the first
what to
exit
order,
on the right onto
and I do it.
Clement Road.
and it works out fine.
Speed warning.
Naturally, you know it will, because He's telling you to do it. So sometimes when things don't seem to be going right, they're just going just right, because God has that planned. We might not understand why He has it planned that way, but we have to trust Him. How do you know it's truthful? Well, if you're in prayer and you're in that meditation, and you know God's voice, you know Jesus' voice, you shouldn't have any problems. Or, if you're still confused by it, then let me tell you. Dig into the Word. It'll match. It'll match, people. So let me pray. Heavenly Father, I lift up whoever watches this video. I just lift them up to you and put them in your care and just say, let them seek you devotedly. If they're coming across this and they're in the enemy's clutches, I ask the book of Job over their lives that the devil has to take these things out and open up their eyes of their trickery and things and let things be seen so they can have an opportunity to truly receive you, Lord. Truly receive you in their hearts and their minds and their spirit. Let all things be seen. But I also ask for a godly mentor and a godly spouse into their lives, whether it's friends, families, or anybody that I don't know that comes across this video, but whoever that you have to watch it, Lord. But most of all, I ask for protection over them. I ask for grace over them. I ask for peace and love and happiness. I ask for no demonic activity around them. That they serve you and come to truly receive you and find the joy and peace and happiness that you give each and every one of us. And I'm thankful for the joy and peace that you give me daily, Lord. I'm thankful for the life you have given me and rescuing me. And I weigh this and lay this at your feet. And I know the price of the weight that I lay at your feet is heavy. But I know that you are stronger and you can carry it as I carry and help people along the way. The same as I have seen and watched and heard you from child to where you left off and went back to prepare a place for us. Let your power and your glory be seen in this day, Lord. Protect me, guide me, and lead me as you do them. Love you guys. Have a great day. Be blessed. Until the next one.